Our beliefs create our reality. Hello, my name is Jamila Idris, and I help successful high achievers like you create a life of fulfillment and meaning by creating alignment, harmony, and deep connections. So, our life, our current reality, is a sum total of our beliefs, our mindsets, and the decisions we have made. As successful high achievers, we have gotten to this level by making certain decisions and having certain beliefs and mindsets. But like the popular saying goes, what got you here would not get you there. If you're experiencing a certain level of stagnation, it is required that you reinvent yourself for the next season, for the next stage or level of your life, as the case may be, for the next level of your life. Now, there are certain skills you would need to be able to up-level your life, and one of these skills is leadership. For a lot of high achievers, we have this notion that nobody can do it as good as we can. Nobody can, do it as perfectly as we can. And we find ourselves struggling to get people to do things for us because we have lost trust in other people's ability to help us. So we resist help, we don't ask for help, and even when we get it, we tend to micromanage the people who we assign certain tasks to. And in this case, one of the components of leadership you would need to adopt is your ability to delegate. And for you to be able to do this, you need to identify people's talents, their gifts, their skills, as it aligns with the results you're trying to create, and you trust them to be able to execute and carry out those tasks that you have assigned to them. Another component of leadership is our ability to make decisions. A lot of high achievers are experiencing decision fatigue because it feels like you need to constantly make decisions on everything in your life, in your business, and it just feels exhausting. This is why you need to work on ways that helps you make better decisions and reduce the number of decisions you make. So this will show up in, let's say, the ways you plan your day, you decide ahead of time things that you're going to do. We'll have people like Mark Zuckerberg who wears the same color of shirt and trousers. It doesn't mean that he has just one pair of jeans and shirts, but he just decided that he wouldn't burden himself with decision of thinking about. He decided he wouldn't burden himself with the thought of deciding what to wear every day, and he just has one shade of shirt and jean that he wears out. You can make that decision ahead of time for yourself on maybe food to eat, and again, that comes from delegating, right? When it comes to leadership, it is important that you become aware of your strengths and your weaknesses. This way, it becomes easy for you to recruit people who have strengths in your areas of weaknesses, and you're able to trust them to carry out certain activities. Now, there is the decision metrics where you decide the activities you take up at different times. As a leader, you focus on activities that are urgent and important, those things that it is only you that can do, those things that need your own special and unique expertise and talent. But any other thing that somebody else can do, you delegate it to the person. Anything that is urgent but not important, you delegate it to somebody else. Anything that is important but not urgent, you can delay it and do it at another time. And then anything that is not urgent and not important, you throw it out, you delete it completely. So this way you are able to focus on what really matters, and you engage in income generating activities. You engage in those important activities that move the needle in your venture and helps you to create the desired outcomes. Now, this leads us to time management. This is another important skill you need to build. And I always say that I believe it should be referred to tax management or energy management as opposed to time management, because time is very static. We all have the same time, 24 hours in a day, 7 days in a week, 30 or 31 days in a month, and 12 months in a year. So, in the concept of time management, we have two types of time: Kairos time and Chronos time. Kairos time is the qualitative time, the time that the what you do with the time you have to ensure that you maximize that time, that time is productive. So this is measured by how you are able to maximize the quality of the time you have, while Chronos time is more about time you measure with a clock or the calendar. So that is how you have 24 hours for everybody and all of that. So all of us have the same Chronos time. But when it comes to Kairos time, it now comes down to your ability to use your leadership skills to identify your strengths and weaknesses and delegate effectively to other people. Some people would argue that people like Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, and all these high performers have a different time because they are literally buying other people's time. So time that they're supposed to use to do certain things, they outsource, they delegate, while they focus on the things that really need their attention, things that don't drain their energy, and tasks that are important to achieving their set goals and objectives. So rather than trying to do everything yourself, learn to ask for help, learn to delegate, learn to pay for people to do things for you. That way you are buying their time and adding it to your own time. So let's say, for instance, as a successful high achiever, you have a lot of activities you need to engage in. Maybe you need to clean your space, you need to go grocery shopping, you need to cook, you need to do all sorts of things. Now, if those things are not your stronghold, it's easier for you to outsource. This is why a lot of people are starting businesses. We should support their businesses. I like to say that I love to buy food because I am supporting food businesses, because if we don't buy from them, how would their businesses grow, and how would we support the economy? So rather than trying to do everything yourself, outsource. Get people to do things for you. Delegate. Trust the people you have assigned certain activities to do the job. And the only reason why a lot of people struggle with delegating and assigning tasks to people is the third skill we need to develop, and that is our ability to create systems. Like James Clear said in his book Atomic Habits, we don't fall to the level of our habits, we fall to the level of our systems. So it is important for us to create systems that helps us do particular things, particular activities. And even in organizations, you would find this when you have your standard operating procedures, your SOPs. In your personal life, you can also have SOPs. What are the steps that are required to do particular activities? When you have this properly stated and documented, it becomes easy for you to hand over this document to somebody else. One thing I have noticed is that a lot of high achievers find it tiring repeating the same thing over and over and over again. But this shows that you don't have the needed systems in place. You are not documenting the processes that are involved in carrying out certain activities. So you feel the need to do it yourself, or you are too scared to delegate that activity because somebody else will not be able to do it like you. So all you need to start doing is to create systems, and these systems are created by documenting every activity that is required in every process that leads from start to finish of every task that you engage in. All those tasks, I would like you to do an activity. Outline all those tasks that you engage in every day, every week, every month, every year, and outline the ones that you feel energized doing and the ones that drains your energy. So when you separate them, the ones that energizes you are the ones that you should be focusing on, and then the ones that drains you are the ones that you should outsource. For all these activities, you need to now write the processes out. What would it look like, or what are the steps that are required to create the desired result, the correct desired outcome at the end of the day. When you document them, for those ones that drain you, it is now easy for you to delegate it to somebody else. Now, when you come to these ones, these other activities that energizes you, you look at how important they are. Are they important and urgent? Are they things that you need to do personally, or can you still outsource some of them out so that you can have time to, pursue other hobbies? So you have time to rest, rejuvenate, recharge, and come back feeling more energized to tackle your goals and get important work done. Now, this brings us to the next skill, which is our ability to express ourselves, to have this self-expression, this personal expression. A lot of successful high achievers struggle with this because we have boxed ourselves into acting a certain way to get certain results, that we have neglected our own personal self-expression. And then this self-expression comes from us having a deep sense of understanding, acceptance, and awareness of who we are at our core. What are those things that sets us apart from the next person? What are those things that make us unique? For me, it is my ability to arrange and to make connections. I can connect everything to everything. I would always dig deep, to identify those connections. Also, I have this unique ability of simplifying complex things. And sometimes I feel like I play that skill down because it just comes very easy for me. And another thing is that I can blow out any idea. I'll think about it, think it through, and things like that. So when I bring the combination of all these skills and talents together, it creates a unique expression for me. And then when I do my work, you always see this uniqueness at play. What is it for you? Is it your artistic eye? Is yours your artistic eye? Is yours your ability to think about abstract things and then translate it in picture or video or something? It is important that you learn what your personal self-expression is and make it work for you. This is how you place your stamp, your own personal stamp on your work, and anybody who comes in contact with your work knows that it was done by you because it carries your unique fingerprint on it. The fifth point is our ability to network, building the skill that helps us to create relationships and build connections. As successful high achievers, we obsess over work, that our life is now centered around work. We build our lives around our work, that it becomes difficult for us to go out and connect with people. And even when we find ourselves in some of these events or situations where we need to connect with people, these social events, we begin to act socially awkward because all we are very good at is working, spending time on our laptops or phones, and things like that. What I always recommend for people when they find themselves in social situations or they want to meet people is to first start by complimenting the people you meet. Look for something peculiar about them that interests you and ask. First is for you to compliment them. Second is for you to be curious. Ask questions. Don't make it about you. It is very easy for us as successful high achievers to only talk about our achievements, things we are working on, things that we've done, that we forget to ask the other person what they are working on, what they enjoy doing, and things like that. And people don't want to be around people who only talk about themselves. So what you get to do is to create an environment where people talk about themselves. So you're asking them questions. You show that you are interested in them. You're interested in knowing more about them. And this begins to open up, that avenue to create connections. Your curiosity. Just, be curious. Let's say somebody tells you they are medical doctors. Go on to ask probing questions that helps you to learn more about them. And the other person will do the same thing. So it's one thing for them to ask about you and, you tell them, than for you to just come and say, oh, I am XYZ and I'm doing XYZ. And you show up like you're the best thing after sliced bread, even though I know you're a big deal. But then sometimes it helps for you to also make that person a priority, have them feel seen and heard. one of our basic needs as humans is for us to feel seen and heard. And in every relationship, the reason why we have relationship breakdown in every relationship is when we don't feel seen and heard. So all you're going to be focusing on is making that person feel, the other person you want to create a connection with, feel seen and heard. And when you find yourself in networking events, don't make it about creating transactional relationships. Truly, go there with the intention of creating connections. Be curious, and from there you get to nurture the relationship. You're checking up once in a while, and you're offering some form of value as much as possible. The last point is for you to build wealth management skills. Now, as a successful high achiever, you must have built some level of financial wealth. How do you begin to manage or steward this wealth? Again, I like to say that wealth is a blessing from God. It is not just as a result of our hard work, because there are some people who are working harder than we are and they are not getting outcomes or financial compensations we get for the work we do. So you need to create a system that helps you manage your wealth so that you become a better steward of the wealth that you are blessed with. You need to have a system that helps you save, spend, give, and reinvest back into your business or venture. So if you're an entrepreneur, you're of course investing back into your business. If you're a career executive, you are exploring other learning experiences that would improve your skills and capacity to earn. And as an entrepreneur, again, this investment into your business could also be investing in learning opportunities, getting skilled professionals to provide you with support to help you improve your capacity to manage your wealth or improve other aspects of your life. I hope you found this useful. If you did, I would like to read your comments and your feedback, and do well to share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.